I'm going to describe what I needed to do to get my Ezlo Plus automation hub to run existing scenes using a Zooz Zen32 scene controller. You'd think that since Ezlo lists the Zen32 on its compatible list, this would be really simple to do. A scene controller should easily recognize and run scenes, right? Well, not so intuitive. It wasn't hard, but wasn't documented anywhere, so required a lot of fiddling, support tickets which really didn't yield any answers, but each vendor pointed their finger to the other one saying, check with the other guy. That's not our problem. So here goes. My goal at the outset was to do something relatively simple with the Zen32. It is allegedly a sophisticated scene controller, with lots of different ways to use 4 or 5 scene control buttons using multiple button taps or holding the buttons down. But I just wanted to run an existing scene upon tapping each button once, basically top button on one side to run an inside lights on scene, and the bottom one to run an inside lights off scene. Same thing on the other side for outside lights. After the switch was wired in, discovering the scene controller device and adding it to the hub was straightforward. I used the QR code on the switch using the Vera app to add it into my automation network. I called the device TV Room Scene Controller. Going into the app was hoping to see a nice way to navigate to the device, and simply pick the selected button and assign an existing scene to it. Not the case. When I opened the device in the app, there were tons of Z-Wave settings items, but all seemed to be related to the behavior and appearance of the buttons. Nowhere to assign a button. I looked in scenes and saw it was blank, so figured this would have listed the scenes in which the device was used. Ezlo support pointed me to needing to create Z-Wave associations, but that didn't work for me. It took a lot of playing to realize I actually needed to create a new scene to get things started, but the app doesn't seem to be the best place to set this up. I'd recommend going into the MIOS site to do the rest of your setup. Go to easylogic.mios.com and log in with your Ezlo account. This is the web-based administration console for your hub. From here you create a new scene. A trick is they call it a meshbot in MIOS. The trigger for the meshbot is your scene controller device, and the button you want to use is listed in this compatibility drop-down specifying the button state number as the button number you want to use. You can do other things with the Zen32, but again, I just want to use a simple single click to run a scene. So in the action of the scene, I choose meshbot and the scene I want to trigger when I press the button. Save and then you're done. I hope that helped to get you oriented for the basics. From there, you can do a lot more with the devices. If anyone from Ezlo sees this video, please take a few pieces of feedback to your team. Clean up your massive legacy of confusing sites and names. Are you Ezlo or Vera or MIOS or Mi Casa Verde? It is becoming harder and harder to find anything useful because there's so much legacy stuff talking about Vera UI 7 and things that are really antiquated. Clean that stuff up and get it into one place. Even your support sites are scattered across Zendesk instances for Vera and Ezlo. It is pretty confusing for people. Also, pick your naming conventions and stick with them. Scenes versus meshbots may seem simple and a logical evolution for you, but figure it out and stop changing things, please. Also, when you list something on your compatible list, that means you need to support customers who spend their hard-earned money trusting you that they don't need to hunt and peck to get a device that you have integrated to your platform to work.